The performance is the result jointly of the athlete's fitness and technical proficiency. The level of technique is usually judged by the course of the speed of the bending and recoil of the pole, a partial indicator of the energy efficiency. From the point of view of the geometry of movement, technique is assessed by the course of the typical phases of the vault or the standard positions the vaulter passes through. The kinetic energy obtained in the approach run is transmitted to the pole and its movement at the completion of the takeoff. The phase of the transfer of body weight to the pole is completed by the swing up from the hang position. The pole bends, at the same time turning around the plant point. The radius of the vaulter's body turn is greatest in the phase of extended swing up. This is the culmination of the process of energy transfer. The phase of reduced swing up is defined by the horizontal position of the upper part of the body. The radius of turning is reduced and the vaulter's center of gravity gets closer to the pole. The rollback phase should be completed before the maximum bend of the pole. The body segments contain the smallest angles. In the phase of the vertical extension of the body, the pole starts to recoil. The vaulter's main effort is aimed at getting his center of gravity as close to the hand grip as possible. In the phase of the pull, the vaulter utilizes the elastic energy of the pole to achieve a further vertical lift of his center of gravity. The phase of the push-up terminates with the moment of the last contact with the pole. The vaulter has no more chance to influence the trajectory of his center of gravity in clearing the crossbar. However, the success of the performance starts being determined by the approach run. The best vaulters achieve speeds varying between 9.2 and 9.6 meters per second. The way the speed is made use of depends on the stride rhythm before takeoff, expressed by the momentary rate of the final 3 strides of the approach run. Individual variations found in all vaulters are of decisive importance for the smooth joining of the approach run, pole plant, takeoff and transition to the pole. The most characteristic rhythm tendency can be seen in the performance of Vladimir Polyakov. An attempt to maintain a fairly high rate can be seen in Tarev with a slight lowering and Vigneron with a slight rise in the last stride. Optimum rhythm and a gradual increase of the stride rate is achieved by František Jansa. A visible loss of rhythm in the approach run is connected with the pole plant technique. The plant should be executed in keeping with the rhythm of the 2 final strides of the approach run. The vaulter must prepare well in time for quickly raising the pole above his shoulders. A slight lowering in the contact phase is important for the timely start of the takeoff. The right arm is tensioned and the transition to the pole culminates by the shoulders being pushed forward with the takeoff being completed simultaneously. The comparison of the time course shows that both Krupski and Jansa raise the pole along their body faster than Tarev and Polyakov, who raise the pole along a curved line. At the moment of the takeoff foot landing, the right arm is not straightened in time in the case of Polyakov and Jansa. Tarev leans backwards. Krupski and Jansa transfer the body weight to the pole equally with both hands. Polyakov's left arm is insufficiently rigid. His transition to the pole is less dynamic. Tarev goes on bending backwards, thus breaking his advance. Jansa and Krupski confirm that the pole plant technique is crucial for the transfer of the kinetic energy into the pole bend and for the further progress of the vaulter pole system forwards and upwards. Pierre Quinon's excellent transition to the pole. He starts bending the pole in the flight phase of the pre-takeoff stride, bending his torso to the side. The point of work of the body's momentum lies outside the plane of the pole axis. The dissipation of the resulting force causes losses in the transmission of the kinetic energy which the vaulter could make use of a more substantial pole bend. The loss of balance of the vaulter pole system causes a poor efficiency of clearance. With most vaulters, the point of work of the body's momentum lies roughly in the plane of the pole axis. The standard of execution and the performance depend on the level of development of the specific motion potential, particularly the power of the muscle groups that take their share in the realization of the performance. For reasons of energy efficiency, the vaulter pole system must be strengthened at the beginning of the transition to the pole. The strengthening concerns muscle groups that are in maximum contraction and lengthening at the moment of the completion of the takeoff. Following the transition to the pole, the muscles of the front of the body are pre-tensioned. Then follows an active swing of the lower extremities and the torso, which requires a fast, dynamic contraction of the shoulder muscles, the upper body muscles, and the groin, hip, and thigh muscles. Technique is characterized by an extended rollback phase and a more efficient utilization of the elastic energy of the pole. Swing technique is characterized by a less consistent rollback and by an extended phase of the vertical body lift. The main directions of the present-day technique concepts are indicated by the time analysis of the vault course. The most striking points are the dynamic execution of the first stage of the vault and a reduction of the support phase on the pole. A comparison of the duration of successful and unsuccessful vaults shows that both the total duration and the partial stage up to the rollback are shorter in successful vaults. Unsuccessful attempts last longer in both phases. The Athens contest has confirmed the modern tendencies of the development of technique, providing a pointer to the chances of a further improvement of the performance of leading pole vaulters. The contest was decided by 3 successful vaults at 560 centimeters. Atanas Tarev, the bronze medal. The second place and the silver medal were won by Vladimir Polyakov. The title of European champion and the gold medal went to Alexander Krupski. Thank you.